awesome.
That's the red.
Yeah.
Y'all leave.
So you gotta start a whole. Your own.
Yes, that's how it
Good. Does,
Yeah, so.
Sure. That's.
Yes, you voted. There's 30 seconds for position.
There's something wrong with output here. When I sign in, it just leaks out, it won't let me sign in. Now it did, well, I don't, last time it just kept clicking. That's,
No, she was just complaining about it.
no, last time it was just like,
Oh.
and it would be
Mine, I like put the garbage can,
Yeah.
and then it'll sit there for like 20 seconds, and then it'll disappear.
Is it just when on this Wi-Fi?
Mine does it.
it did, it actually, it did not, she's looking at my place, it was like, it shall not be named, when I was off the clock, and then also here.
After this thing, tested.
Pretty fast.
I'll get a drink.
Oh, wait, you're the one in, she's the one in charge of. Guess that's a no.
Is Dave still?
Where's the couch?
I haven't heard otherwise.
Oh my gosh. Need a cup. You guys hide the cups. Is Dave not coming?
No. You need a walk?
No.
I've got some bottled water. I've got some bottled water.
I need to eat something such as like, you know.
Fascination.
What's your beverage?
The only diet you got.
If you drink it, no, it is.
I would if I had to, but I hate not doing that. Cause it's got cooking with it. Have you seen that?
Okay.
It's got cooking with it. That's why it's like, it's like Sunny the Light, ew.
Sunny Light has cooking oil in it too?
Dr. Pepper Zero is not.
Slippery, you know, thick.
I can tell. I
But
can,
I bet
right,
you-
the texture is that way.
What?
I bet you use cooking jail.
I don't drink it.
Of course I do. Olive oil?
If it tasted good, you would.
No, I actually did. I do the bottom.
All right, I've got 6 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting, city council together. Are we on? Is this gonna go on? So welcome, our public. Thank you. You can sit on the front row if you'd like.
No, I used that.
Okay. If you get out of control, Stetson will be careful. Item 1A, the Pledge of Allegiance, opening prayer or reading or question of thought will be by Council Member Sarah Uri.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for the opportunity to meet here together as representatives of the great city of Pleasant View. We ask that the Spirit will be with us tonight as we discuss the affairs of this city, and that we will be wise and prudent in our decisions and do so in the best interest of those that we represent. We're so grateful for this wonderful land that we live in particular this wonderful, beautiful area. We're grateful for those who serve on our behalf, for our public works team and our office staff and our public safety department, and we ask them with safety and with all that they stand in need of as they go about their day-to-day service on behalf of the residents who live here. We ask you to bless those who lead our nation and our state and our county, that they may also be wise and prudent in their decisions of those who they represent. We ask thee at this time for moisture. We are in need of sustained moisture so that we can have enough for the residents and for the growth of our crops and all that we stand in need of. We ask thee to please bless us and protect us, and we say these things in the name of thy son, Jesus Christ, amen.
And Sarah, thank you very much. I did my due diligence. I washed my car today, so it'll rain tomorrow. Yeah, I can't say how much it's going to be. Also, I failed to mention that I think we have a council member, Ann Arrington. I haven't seen her for a while. But
Whatever.
she's joining us via Zoom. So thank you very much for joining us, and we welcome you back whenever you decide to come back and join us. Is it me? Maybe, anyway. Item 1B is the declaration of conflicts of interest. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Is there any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, we'll move to C, 1C. Public comments or questions for the mayor or city council? None? Okay. All right, I'm giving you the opportunity. You have 3 minutes. All right. All right, I'd like to welcome Matt too with us. Please, if my tongue-in-cheek stuff gets out of hand, please make me a note. I appreciate that.
No, I have 5 minutes
Oh,
since
okay.
December.
Yes, yeah, we didn't have the last time.
Item number 2, subdivision final acceptance, discussion of possible action to consider granting final acceptance for Omen Estate subdivision and to end the guarantee period. Tammy.
Okay, we've received a letter to recommend granting final acceptance for the subdivision of Omen Estates. Ben Slater from Jones and Associates has done his final inspections and finds that everything meets the standards and the requirements for that. And checking their accounts receivables, they don't have any outstanding fees. And so we would recommend at this time granting final acceptance for that subdivision and releasing the remaining escrow amount.
Any comments or questions?
Did they sell the last lot down there anymore? There's one lot that hasn't been, well, there's 2 lots that haven't been done.
I don't know where
Yeah, I'm
the
not-
line comes. I know there's at least 1.5, it seems like, but I don't know. Any comments?
To
Consent
tie-
to entertain a motion?
Tyson, you've been down there. I mean, there's nothing really for you to look at as well, or?
We do with Ben, so we're part of all those walkthroughs.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to grant final acceptance to Omen Estate subdivision and the guarantee period as stated in the.
You have a motion by Yuri,
Second.
second by Wilkinson. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, item number 3, public hearing, real estate purchase contract for land and deceleration lane construction exchange. This is being brought back to us. We voted on this once, but we decided we needed to have a public hearing to dispose of some land, which I'll take time for. So do you want to, Andrea, do you want to talk about it, or should we go into a public hearing?
Just quickly, he stated it well. It came back because we didn't have the public hearing on it. By state law, we have to have a public hearing when we dispose of any of our real property. So this has come back. I sent out an email a little bit earlier. Councilmember Wilkinson had contacted me with some questions as far as the addendum goes. I spoke with Ms. Blanchard about that, and so they changed a couple things in there. So I'll just point those out real quick. On item number 2, they struck the language that says promise to perform the obligations to just perform the obligations. So it just makes it more clear that this isn't a promise, it is an obligation. by EK Bailey to do those improvements. On number 4, they struck all language referring to the issuance of a building permit as a trigger to constructing those improvements. So this puts the risk back on EK Bailey, that they're gonna be on the hook for those improvements when we do the land swap. And then, Councilmember Wilkinson did point out that the copy in your packet did not have the added item 5. That was actually added shortly after I received the first copy. Dana and Tyson made sure that we wanted to include a temporary construction easement for that project that you guys just approved at the last council meeting, so that they can get in there and do what they need to do to make that railroad crossing. So that was added before the last time that this came for approval, but apparently that copy did not get into your packets. So
Number 5, the miscellaneous, the obligations and the.
There's a different number 5.
So on the email that I sent you today, yeah, so number 5 now reads about temporary construction easement for our project that's there in the back of the multi-sport park that crosses under the railroad.
For the all sports park
that's in-
detention basin.
And also, Ms. Blanchard provided some updated documents, see up here. It just kind of shows what parking would be available to, for city use at the multi-sport park. So it's 68 stalls that they're allowing us to use, as overflow from the multi-sport park. And then, if you go down to,
Just a second before we go off, of that one, are they going to have a gate or something
there's gonna be a gate.
on the right side there where it's not?
The west of their
the-
property.
well, the-
You want me to come up?
Please. I mean, I appreciate them allowing it, but I just didn't want it to migrate into the,
The gate goes, where should I get the point? The gate goes, here, the bottom, there's no gate up there. That's
Okay.
what you're referring to.
Well,
I did shade the red portion of the access.
But there's not one on this end.
that's what about, what about on the right side or the south side of
Oh,
the,
no. And then there'll be no asphalt there.
okay, perfect.
That whole parcel inside is just future.
Okay,
future use,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, and if you'll notice that, section that goes across the front of the property there, that's the cross-access easement that they're granting to connect the property to the south. And then if you'll go. This is the same cost estimate, and I think that Geneva wanted to clarify on that a little bit.
Yeah, so we left, I mean, this was bid back in, what's the date on there, June of some sort. We just left the pricing as is, I mean, that's gone up, but Brent's like, I feel comfortable with this number, I'm leaving it as is. It does go to, Sean was asking before, it does go to the entrance of your park. I did clarify that, so I apologize for that, but it does go to the entrance of your park, so curb gutter, the asphalt portion that goes to your piece. So just a little bit of clarification in there once we took the blue light out, so. And then we did just some bullet points, you know, just trying to make it as clear based on your questions on last time's discussion. Just trying to make it really clear on everything that was there and hopefully addressing the purchase contract in cleaning that up. We were happy to do, so hopefully it's just clear.
Right, so some of these bullet points that she added are stuff that it's hard to monetize, the value to the city on those. They would be responsible for the maintenance of that asphalt for, in
And
perpetuity.
Those were the only two things I couldn't monetize. I mean, it was hard to monetize what the value of the 68 extra parking stalls are, as well as the value of what the overall maintenance and snow removal is. So maintenance including the asphalt as well as the annual stuff.
Yeah.
So, if we wrap this up quick, we Brent can't even.
So at this point, I'd like to open a public hearing and entertain a motion to do that.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we open a public hearing.
Motion,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, we're now hearing. Any public wish to address us? Seeing none, anybody online, Laurie?
We don't do online.
Oh,
Sam wants to.
okay. I'd entertain a motion to go out of public
Mayor, I'll
hearing.
make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to restate, I'm for this. I think we're getting more value than that little piece of property would be. So, and I appreciate Brent being here, and I think it'll be a wonderful part of our city. I appreciate him locating his offices here in Pleasant View. It's about time. Harrisville's enjoyed you for such a long time, and now I'd be able to move that to Pleasant View. So anyway, any other questions for?
Where is this bullet point? Is it in an email or is this?
She just sent that over to me today.
Okay.
Do you want us to make it bigger?
Well, I just want to, because I didn't see it in the email. Oh, there's 3 attachments. I missed one.
And then there was one other thing that I did want to point out, that if we don't make this land swap, those improvements that they make that are beneficial only to the city's gonna be responsible for those.
Which would be
So-
parking,
What was that?
which would be the parking and well, not
No,
necessarily.
the entrance, the.
So
curb
they've,
and gutter.
an official improved entrance into the city park, so that then could just go, that's
Yeah.
up along the
Like
side of
a-
the property.
The acceleration lane and all those things they have to do anyway.
Yeah, she is right on that. The decel lane would be on us, but once you come into the back property.
So the entrance.
The easement to do the construction for the railroad crossing, is that not, that's not listed in this one? Where is that listed?
It's listed in the addendum and the
Okay.
access
Addendum one.
agreement. Oh, it is in the addendum. It was item number 5. That was not in your packet, but it was in the email that I sent out today. Yeah,
Temporary process.
so it'll be, with that real estate purchase contract.
I'll make a motion that we approve the real estate purchase contract. There's no number for this, right? For the
Item verse.
item number 3 in the agenda, at address 3528 North Highway 89.
You have a motion?
With the modifications that Andrea sent over, the red lines.
With the modifications that were attached to the red line for the addendum.
Motion by Marriott,
Second.
second by Ferry. Okay, we have a motion by Marriott, a second by Ferry. Johnny,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sean.
No.
Ann?
Yes.
Okay, with 4-1, that motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 4, Public Infrastructure District, PID. Discussion of possible action to create a public infrastructure district for Far West Landing located at approximately east of I-15, north of 2700 in Far West City and Pleasant View City. This is Woodsonia, Far West LLC. We've had a lot of meetings about this darn thing. Here we go.
Yeah, we've had a ton of discussions outside the council meeting on this development. It's been a long project over a couple years. So last summer, they submitted a letter of intent and a petition to create a public infrastructure district that would cover that development. They did not have 100% of the property owner signatures, so we rejected that petition. And then they resubmitted it recently. There were some items on it that I did send back for corrections, so we haven't officially accepted their letter of intent or their petition for the public infrastructure district. If you're not familiar with public infrastructure districts, I just put a little thing together. It's a financing tool that's authorized by Utah State Code that allows developers to bond for take out bonds to cover the public infrastructure in their, in that development area. And then what they do is they create an assessment against those properties. So then they would pay for that on their taxes, but it would only be the properties, included in that, development. So this is just kind of like a little graph. The developer applies for the public infrastructure district. They get the bonds, they do the improvements, they do that special assessment, and then the honest for the property tax for the payment back of those bonds comes through the property tax assessment that they've asked to put on those properties in their area. This is just an overview if you're not familiar with the Far West Landing project. The triangle at the top there is the only piece that's in Pleasant View. Inside the development, they're saying that they're bringing in a Target store, a junior box store, retail restaurant, apartment housing. I believe it's 200 some odd units of housing back there. And then for the lot in Pleasant View, they've talked about a possible hotel or retail. And then that would be divided. If you see the little dash line at the top is where their detention basin is going to go for the project. And then I just wanted to give you like an overview of where this is if you're not familiar with it. So that's the general development area on the left. The middle is a bigger vicinity map, so you know where you're looking at. And the one on the right is what they're required to put together, which is a final local entity plat, or what they call a FLEP. This shows all the properties within their development that would that have that levy on their tax. So as you can see, the triangle at the top, which is in Pleasant View, and then most of the development below. They are not including any of the housing development in the public infrastructure district. So that property itself would not be responsible. They wouldn't have a tax increase for the improvements in the district. Since this has been talked about for a long time, and I just kind of wanted to get a feel from everyone on where your feeling is on PIDs themselves, what your thoughts are on going forward with it in this area. We haven't accepted anything. The city at any time can decide that they don't want them to proceed. If they proceed, they draft what's called a governing document, which then goes into the agreements of what will allow. They've proposed a 6 mil levy, which is pretty high. So it's like 0.006 times the property valuation would be their assessment. In their spreadsheet that they have submitted, it has a lot of costs that are related to the housing. They are allowed to do that, but it's my understanding that wasn't really the intent of the law. They have included a lot of infrastructure that services those businesses. So you as a council would need to determine which amounts you're okay with including in the public infrastructure district. Right now, they're looking at just over $3 million for that public infrastructure district. But it can be negotiated as far as what the mill levy is that you want to accept, and what items on that list you want to include in the infrastructure.
So $6 million levy, basically,
6 mil levy. Mill.
It's not millions, it's dollars per $1,000 in value. Property.
Yes.
that they're, okay.
So just as a gee whiz, because they proposed a hotel on the upper portion that would be in Pleasant, or that is in Pleasant View. I just ran numbers on the Comfort Inn, which is just across 2700 North, just as a gee whiz. What they're proposing would increase the Comfort Inn's taxes from $68,000 a year to $108,000 a year.
And can I make a comment?
Yeah,
here?
go ahead.
The reason why I just don't know if would support this is that little section that they call the shark fin
Mhm.
up at the top. that is a small portion of, that's in Pleasant View. And the majority of the infrastructure would really be down in Far West. And this is only for Pleasant View is what we're discussing, and Far West is going to be discussing this for their portion of it. So if we deny it or don't want to pursue it, Far West will still have an opportunity to have that for their city and their portion, which is the majority of it. And I would hate to put that big tax, $40,000-$60,000, whatever it is, on the little portion of Pleasant View to pay for everything in Far West. And it just doesn't feel good to me.
Has Far West done their portion first? Why don't, that's.
They're negotiating it, right?
They had a work session and they put it on the agenda to vote on whether or not to direct them to draft a governing document. And they did not end up voting for or against it. They put it off.
Are they waiting to see what we do?
I did talk to Mayor Bolos today. He would like to know what Pleasant View is doing.
I would like to know what they're thinking.
Well,
Have a much bigger stake in this than we do.
and that's what's honestly, that's what is the big rub here. And I've talked to several of the people with the development group. We're doing a lot of work because the entrances are in Pleasant. And we are doing a lot of work for very little payback on us. And granted, we're using some WACOG funds and WACOG money to put some of the roads in and widen those. And it will be nice for us eventually. But even, as I said that to the developer, he says, well, we'll put something in there someday up on that shark fin. And so that's 2 or 3 different phases away. And so it just doesn't seem like it makes sense to me to enter into this for such a little piece.
Does the PID, does it include the roads? It doesn't include the road. I mean, would it have any effect on the roads at all? I don't.
Those
So
roads are,
that's included as part of the infrastructure that they,
Like infrastructure improvement.
yeah, it would pay for those
but
roads.
WACOG is putting in a large portion of the north and the south portion already.
So then why? are we-
And so there's a little section that runs right along, not a little section, but from connecting. So from the winery over, so from here
This
over to
area.
somewhere here, and from here, WACOG is paying for those east-west sections on the north and on the south. And then this development is going to be, that road coming down. I wish I had a.
It seems almost like.
Here, do you want this?
Well, it's not double dipping,
He's
but
paying,
the
but
WACOG is paying for the roads and a lot of it is we're actually WACOG is paying for a wider version of the road.
Yeah, they can't use the portions that WACOG is already paying for won't be reimbursed through the PID, so
Yeah.
it has to
Correct.
be separate.
So,
So WACOG is just for, as the development goes in, they are required to put in a 70-foot road. The cities have asked them in those portions to put in an 80-foot wide road. So the WACOG money is covering the upsizing of those sections.
and some of the property acquisition that we've already acquired, or trading or possibly for some other things. So, and anyway, I just can't feel good about it at this point in my world. And I know I don't have any vote here, but there's too many unknowns and
So if we don't enter into it, what does that do to the taxes on? It doesn't do anything to our property. Does it do?
No. Quick question. So initially there was some conversation about the letter that they sent and the request for both Far West and Pleasant View to be
A
joint.
Joint PID,
Yeah,
that's not allowed by
That-
law.
Correct. So has that been taken into consideration? We're not considering that right now. This would just be for the property within Pleasant View City.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and one other thing that I did want to point out is they have done a CRA of this area in Far West and have negotiated property and sales tax to pay back some of the public infrastructure, public benefit. So they are utilizing that. They do want to utilize the PID, and then they are utilizing the WACOG funding. So they are using, they're
Trifecta.
trying to use multiple public funding sources.
And CRA, just as with RISE or those stuff, I think that's we're wanting something for the future. We're investing in the future of Pleasant View. But the PID, I didn't fully understand it, honestly, originally. I had a hard time differentiating between those two. And so it is, but anyway, I think Andrea's done a very nice job explaining it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the difference is that the financing to being paid off goes towards the property owners. Where if you do like the TIF and the CRA, like we're considering with RISE, that comes out of what we would have received for property tax.
On the improvement.
Right.
Just looking at PIDs and stuff, they actually put a lien on your property.
Yeah.
And.
And this is 30 years.
Yeah, and they can foreclose on it. They, it's an extra charge beyond those things, and
It seems small. I mean, a small area for such a large amount to me. It just like when Andrew talked about that hotel, the Comfort Inn versus what's there. I mean, if I were the property owner and that I was saddled with that every year for 30 years, I think
it could be hard to get tenants.
Yeah, as I say, it's gonna be a deterrent to have any business there.
and the developer has to, I mean, they have a certain obligation to put infrastructure in for any development, and that is passed on to the Ivory Homes. I mean, they put a lot of money into digging out that side of the hill, and that's evident in the cost of the lots that are there. They are not just giving it away. The 300,000 for a half acre lot, there's a lot of those impact of the infrastructure that went into that cost of the thing. And so I don't know. Anyway, it's up to you guys. I've said my piece.
Well, and I just wanted to get discussion going.
Yeah.
Because this is something that is being proposed. You guys are welcome to make a decision tonight if you didn't want to pursue it, or if you did want to, well, I don't think that you could go ahead with the governing document because they need to fix what they've submitted already.
But I think so if you vote it down, that you're not interested in it, that frees up Andrea to not have to go through some process, maybe. Is that fair?
Yeah, and so if you get to the point where you ask them to draft a governing document, then we do have to hire a PID consultant, which eventually they pay for in the district. Right, but it is a process, so my feeling is if you're flat out not interested in it and don't want to negotiate any of the mill levy or the items in their proposal, then going forward to that point doesn't make sense. So that's why I wanted to just get a heads up on where we're at.
What infrastructure besides the roads would be paid for inside Pleasant View's boundary, besides the two main roads coming in?
I think they're pushing the stormwater out into Pleasant View towards that end, so they're gonna go back. So that piece is important for stormwater.
But their
that's
stormwater is also
outside of-
seeing their secondary water system.
But if those improvements are outside of, well,
Of the
I don't know, does the PID boundary include the road? Or is it, because on the final local entity plat, it doesn't look like it includes that road. Maybe I'm wrong.
It includes the road going east, north and south along the freeway.
They
Yes.
have included those improvements in their spreadsheet of costs to include in the
But in the
district.
graphic, it doesn't look like it does.
So that's what I was thinking. I didn't see really the benefit.
It's just like the housing. They haven't included that in their flip, but they can by law include those infrastructure costs into that public infrastructure district. Again, I've been told that that wasn't the intent of the law, but by law, they can include those. So basically, any of your retailers are paying for the infrastructure for the housing.
For you, kudos for them for looking for funding sources and things like this, but it just seems like a lot of putting responsibility on others than what they should have to be doing themselves. And really, you know, using public funding with Weber County and also putting it on the potential tenants and things like that. And so then they'll put it all in, get the funding sources, and then are they on the hook then if people don't come in and, you know, set up shop there? How
Well, the
will they
property
pay back
owner
their
would be,
bid?
so if they don't sell off that property, then they're paying the tax bill.
Doesn't the developer own that now? That-
No, they haven't closed on any of that property yet.
They're waiting for a whole lot of guarantees, it would seem, before they're willing to close.
Is that?
Supposedly, they
is
have
that
a
tied up?
closing date coming up soon.
Okay.
That's the road, that's one of the roads, for us to do a lot of stuff.
For me, I would like, since Far West has a bigger stake in this situation, I would like them to enter their bid first and before we even consider something like that, because we don't have a lot to gain from it.
And I'd be happy to do a little bit more research. Ms. Russell from Weber County is a really good resource on this. So I would like to talk to her and see if where it can't be a joint PID, if they would have to divide off the actual improvements in Pleasant View to include in that. Which when Mayor Collin and myself talked to the consultant that they have hired to apply for this, it was stated right up front that we don't feel like Pleasant View should have to pay more than their fair share to the development. So if they can carve that out, does that change your opinion?
Possibly, I don't really care for PIDs really, because just reading more about them, it puts a lot of burden on the people who are coming there. A lot.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to clarify that, and if so, I'll make them reapply with their letter of intent and petition for that specific area. And you can make a decision at that point.
We considered a PID, or Jimmy John's and Dutch Bros and all that, right? They probably should, right?
Right, yeah, and I
There.
don't think it ever came here to, it was you know, just kind of a
That one
discussion
seems like it
where-
makes sense because you have to, I mean, I think it's better for the city not to.
Sure.
On the development, right, and we're working through the development, all that flowing together. But to me, I don't know what I'm missing, but I just don't see really any benefit. So.
How much goes into play about the size of the city? Far West is a population of 9,000 or something like that, right? How much does it go? Because you get a big project like this that comes in and there's a lot of capital outlay for infrastructure. But yet you want to take advantage of the opportunity that's being presented at the same time. But that's why these exist, I'm assuming, is just because of the dollar amount that's tied to it. Is that fair?
Well,
In such a small
that's the
city?
experience.
Just,
I
it's a financing mechanism where they can bond to pay for the improvements and get paid back over time through additional taxes on the people that purchase.
Without having to upfront the money.
Yeah, so if you don't have the money up front to do it, then you
Correct.
would.
Or
Yes.
themselves, they're bonding on future tenants and things like that. The burden's not on the
Well, so,
developer.
and the
Right.
question to me is, it looks like a great project, but if the developer is relying on this, if they cannot do the project without this, that's a problem for me. They should have the ability to do what they want to do. And if it's a great project, then we can come in and incentivize it. But they shouldn't be relying on a tool like this to make the project work. That says something different
It's
to me.
kind of a red flag.
It's a risk.
Especially with WACOG already being involved in
Mhm.
a large majority of the road.
And this kind of a project where it's being quite a sizable project, if they don't have, like what Sean mentioned, available options and are looking elsewhere, that might tell you possibly about their financial situation.
So Councilmember Wilkinson, something just did occur to me, when you asked about how much of the infrastructure was in Pleasant View.
Mhm.
Very little, however, because of the interlocal agreement that we entered into with Far West, we are serving approximately 70% of their sanitary sewer and about 90% of their stormwater.
Okay.
90% of their storm.
Yeah, I can pull up.
That was through.
Yep. All right, that makes sense.
Oh, you can't see my computer.
But that when
So everything north of the Target
where we enter this.
location
Yeah.
is our sanitary sewer. Everything north of the road that comes in is our stormwater. So,
So are we-
so we do have a lot of Pleasant View City infrastructure in
Are we
it.
gonna be able to bill that to Far West, or, I mean, how are we gonna?
In the interlocal agreement, we get the impact fees for sanitary sewer and the
so it's
stormwater.
impact fees, what about monthly fees for sewer?
Monthly fees will be splitting 50-50 on the sewer, and then the stormwater, because it basically all comes into Pleasant View and then dumps back into Far West. We just left that monthly fee alone.
For the sewer, I mean, that. So I just toured that plant today. You know, if that, so it was how much, 80% of the sewer? What did you say the percentage was?
We're about 70%, so
I, washed my hands, I actually changed my shirt.
It's a clean plant.
Well, there's,
You didn't invite us, is the problem.
there's some smells there. But anyway, why would it be 50-50 then? Why wouldn't it be 70-30 for heaven?
No kidding.
I don't know, but you guys approved the
You approved
interlocal
it.
agreement.
This was you guys, isn't it, Sean? and
Yeah,
I?
yeah, we're stepping out of this.
There was some.
I think we're getting off topic a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Do you?
I'd like to vote no against it because just because I don't want to have Andrea have to go through and the staff go through a bunch of discussion on this when we really don't think it's going to be a good idea.
Matt, what do we do on this? If it's, do we entertain a motion, or is it just consensus, or what do we do on this?
So, I mean, if we haven't even accepted their notice, I don't know if there's necessarily any action.
But if we have can we come to a consensus or something, or do we take a straw poll? What's the legal?
It's, hang on a second. In
With that, but
It's just, it's premature.
in its current form, we can't even, it's not even legal.
well, but it's here discussion and possible action to
I understand,
move forward with it, or to back off and not.
but if the developer hasn't, because they're the ones that initiate the process, and if they haven't fully complied with initiating the process.
There's nothing
there's
to
nothing
vote on.
But if they're,
So we say, no, thank you. There's nothing to vote on.
but that's what I'm asking, we're not voting on your thing, but the consensus that Andrew's asking for, do I just ask? I mean, Dave,
I got a general fill. You're good to move on.
is that
We don't like.
is that general fill, or what is the legal?
I mean, it's, yeah, so you're not taking a formal vote, that's just kind of,
Okay.
for staff, they have some direction, I think.
All right, general fill is we're not supporting this, the general fill. Any other comments or questions? We'll move on to item number
That's great.
5. Insurance broker appointment, discuss possible action to appoint Cameron Applegate with the Buckner Group as the city's employee benefits advisor and insurance broker. Andrea or Laurie? Please, Laurie. Ed, did you feel good about item number 4? I didn't.
Yeah.
You were gone for a while. Thumbs up?
I'm here. I will listen to the whole thing. I'm good. I like the temperature.
Thank you.
It's hot in here. You sure you like that temperature? I don't know.
Okay, number 5. So Doug Bronson with Heiner's Insurance has been our broker for years. He's retiring and he's actually brought in this, Buckner company. We've met them and he's kind of saying, he's kind of passing it to them. We've met him. I trust Doug Bronson. He's a good guy. I don't know any other brokers. So we're at least gonna go with him this year. We're getting close to where we need somebody to start looking into our health insurance and different things.
Is it year to date or year to year?
It doesn't cost the city money at all. And so we can.
So
do that with
next year, if
this
we're
thing.
not happy this year, we can just.
Yeah, next year if we're not happy. But we'll send a letter to the insurance companies, to PHP and different ones, just letting them know that he's representing us.
I know Doug well, but I'm kind of surprised. Why wouldn't Heiners continue that, or will he pass it on to Heiners and keep with him, or is Heiners is contracted with Buckner? I guess I'm sorry.
We contracted with Doug Bronson, who works for Heiner's Insurance, so he was our broker. But he apparently knows this guy, trusts this guy, so he's the one that's recommended him to us.
That's
So I'm
interesting.
kind of going with him just because.
I mean, Heiners got more. There's a lot of good brokers with Heiners. I'm just surprised, but
Are you familiar with Buckner?
no, are you? Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody have any issues with this? Again, I don't know what to do on these, Matt. Is this? Do we need to have
So
a motion on this or just accept?
Yeah, I would just motion.
Yeah, I'd entertain a motion to appoint Cameron Applegate, the Bugner Group, as our advisor and insurance broker.
so moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Thanks, Ann. All right, we have need of a closed meeting today,
Yes. Oh.
and we need to state what it's for, the purpose,
The purpose and where it's being held.
and that apparently we need to put that on our agenda. Laurie was gonna check that and see what she thought, but
So like it needs to say, you know,
Find
personal
anything
or
that we
property
offer.
acquisition or pending litigation.
so going forward after today, I think
That's my advice, is that
if we have a closed meeting, we state it on the agenda,
But
what
it's,
what it's for. So it's going to be for what?
Property discussion.
Property discussion,
Okay.
property acquisition. Yeah.
so
So
it's,
you
it's-
want to do closed meeting right now or do that at the very end or?
I don't know. Can everybody
Just need to
stay?
close-
Can everybody stay?
We skipped other business.
I know, that's what I was just gonna go into this now and then have other business at the end.
can I, just to clarify, the three reasons is
There's lots of reasons.
property acquisition, pending litigation, personal and whatever, mental health capacity or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's numerous reasons to hold a closed meeting.
Oh,
Needs to be
okay.
Indicated on the record, and it should be, even though state law is a little unclear, it should be noticed on the agenda as well.
We're paying good money to our attorney here, so I think we should follow his counsel
Just
advice.
a general,
What is the consensus? Would everybody like to go over other business before we go into a closed meeting?
I'm
If you
good.
do other business later, you're in YouTube right now. So.
you'll have to go
I
back
can
in.
start it. I can start it.
Okay, let's go to other business for now. We'll get that taken. Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, we're kind of randomizing a little bit. Let's go with Tyson.
We're just getting ready to have the pre-con for the sewer project that was awarded. The contractors, ready to move forward, and we're gonna have that tomorrow. We'll start getting out there, letting the residents know that are affected. So you should see some more movement out on Highway 89.
This is for a decant facility that we're.
Not the railroad one.
No.
The railroad, they're still working through that rail pros process, so that one's probably a little further out for actual construction.
Do we know exactly, I'd like to get involved in this a little more, but do you know exactly where that sewer is going from the decant? Is it going from the decant now to the highway, or is it just Highway 89 through along there?
So the extension will run along 89 and then into the property where the lanes coming out from those three existing homes that sit back in the field.
Yeah.
We have the easements to get through to the city's greater property and where that future alignment for the road's gonna be.
So
So
it's
then-
just gonna be, it's just gonna dead end there until we're done, till our project starts.
Yes, they'll pick up the three
Houses.
septic systems as part of the property swaps, so.
Okay.
That'd be the other part. Other than that, the main's just dead ending until finalizing the decant structure, and then we'll tie in all the site. So that's the big project. We finally took the 5 new trucks are here. We'll be putting out the surplus sale, sort of do the reverse bid, and as awarded at council for surplusing them out front. So that'll be new for us. Just we'll be working through it. So that'll be coming up, postings, Facebook, all that fun stuff.
Who manages the bids? That we do internal, or is that?
Yeah, so you're basically doing a reverse bid process where these are my dates, as is. I haven't personally done one. No other entities have, so that's new where we're.
I would like to
we're-
see all 5 vehicles, the mileage, the, general condition, the year. I think if you present that with city council next time. Could you do that?
For the sale
Further
or,
than- Yeah, just so we
Sure.
can kind of look at it and maybe estimated.
For the sale results.
Well, not results, I want to see before we put it out for bid. 'Cause-
that was part of the packet back with the purchase. So we always bring the blue book. This is the
Was
estimated
that-
and
Do we have that we can pull up for the next, I don't know. Do you care about seeing those things or just want to, so?
Well, we kind of set a minimum on those, right? Or-
yeah, it was based off that blue book value, where it would set sort of the, what do they call it, the retainer? Where your bids have to be over X value. I don't remember the exact numbers, but we should have all of that set and covered, I believe.
I can't remember it, but if. anyway.
It's been.
Oh, yeah, no,
it's
it's
November.
fleet purchase plows are even worse. But we've got the chassis and the cab, but we're still waiting for all the plow equipment for the
So you're-
plow we
you're the
approved a
problem
year
we don't have
ago.
snow.
What?
You're the problem, we don't have snow.
Yeah,
'Cause the piles are there.
I can go and de-plow them, so then it'll hit. You gotta answer all the calls though.
All right. Stetson,
So we've had some movement. Officer Justin Matson's actually, yesterday was his first day as he's been promoted to a sergeant. He'll do us a great job. He's one, if you remember, we hired him last year and he came to us from Smithfield PD with about 15 years of experience. So excited to see him and how he does in his new role. Unfortunately, we lost an officer, went back to work down in Salt Lake. He had about 8 or 10 years on, so I hate seeing that experience leave. But I don't know if you guys, most of you have met Morgan. She was a part-time officer for us. She's been here for a little while. Does a great job. She's accepted a full-time position. So we're excited to see her and how she does in that. And then to replace her part-time position, we had a really good applicant come in today with about 14 years of experience that's looking for a part-time police job. She's worked in Davis County for most of her career and she's doing something else now. Now she's gonna look for some part-time work. Other than that, we a few council meetings ago, we did that MOU for the active shooter training. That's moving forward, doing really good. We've got the first big training coming up here like next week on the 18th, I think. It's going to be at Orion and the officers are going to train on active shooter with some sim rounds and stuff. So I'm excited to see that happening. It's a really good thing for us. Other than that,
did you want to volunteer to be the?
You volunteered for the whole little suit when we had the dog and that never happened. You volunteered me more than once.
one of the things that came up in that, that was not in the MOU that I requested that we have a lot of emphasis on the schools. Oh heck, I can't remember what they call them, Guardian program. Train our officers on that new Guardian program stuff so that so that they know what we're doing and we know what they're doing. So, yeah, so. I've been in contact with Lieutenant Slater with Weaver County. The Guardian program is getting going. They're still working on trying to find guardians and get people to sign up to do that. And hopefully we'll be helping train those people. But we've been in contact with him and he's doing a great job he's the liaison for the sheriff's office and the school district and all this. So other than that, we're just business as usual.
Thank you. And
Yeah, just wanted to kind of touch base with each one of you, see if there's anything in your particular assignments that you need in the newsletter upcoming. Something comes to mind, you can just say it now, or you can even email me. Just let me know how you want it worded and that kind of stuff. So that's all I got.
For like from the council or just like for, so like Brianna has some stuff from the U City Council that didn't make it last month. Do you want us to submit that to you first before it goes to Brianna or?
No, that should be fine. If you send it to Brianna already, that's fine.
This will be a subject of our work session a little bit. Kind of what to do and how to get this out, the communication. I think it's just an important thing. And maybe not so much the communication, but the quality of the communication I think is an important thing to let, and Sarah helped me this last month. She did a really good job at some of the things we did last year. Hopefully you had a chance to look at that. I think that was very good. Thanks, Sarah, for your input on that. We kind of talked a little bit about maybe having the cemetery be a subject of this mayor's message.
There's lots of questions about it.
And so we'll kind of maybe put that out there, but Anne is, she's on top of it, and I appreciate you, Anne, kind of helping us boost our level of communication a little bit, just quality and how it goes. We might redo the newsletter maybe a little bit in the next months coming. I know Brianna's done a really good job, but sharpen that up a little bit too. So anything else, Anne?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you for joining us, by the way. We are missed.
Thank you.
By me anyway. Dave, not so much. Matt, do you want to have anything? Do you have anything to say?
I'll speak up when I'm.
Okay. Andrew?
So just a couple things. I forgot to mention this at the last city council meeting, but you all should have received an email from Franklin Covey. So if you didn't get it, I can go in and hit the resend button. But as part of the trust, the Utah Local Governments Trust that we do our insurance through, they have this commitment that we've made to go through this Franklin Covey program with our employees. And it just talks about leadership and how to be a better team member and, how to improve our teams and how to improve yourself on a personal and professional level. As some of the employees went through it, we thought that maybe it would be beneficial for the city council. It doesn't cost us anything. They just provide that. So I had him add you guys to the list as a resource that if, okay.
Check your junk mail.
It's getting quarantined.
Oh, it's in.
Yeah, originally mine got blocked by Sophos.
So is that a hint that we need more leadership and?
No, what's funny is that
Is that-
we kind of didn't know.
Are you getting that same thing?
I have.
Oh, see? Yeah, but just with the employees starting to go through it and seeing the value of it, we just thought it'd be a good resource. It's do it if you want. Don't have to do it if you don't want. But we can get 70% of the participants on the list to participate in that program. We do get some incentives on our insurance through the trust.
When did you send it? Just to check.
I accidentally deleted it thinking it was junk.
But were you able to actually access it? Because mine,
I
mine
didn't-
said quarantined mail, and I had to request something to release.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother.
Looking at my other, that's all like National League of.
Send it through again.
Okay, maybe I'll go ahead and resend all of your.
My email does not like National.
Okay, and then the other thing is another temperature check from the council, and it's also regarding the Far West Landing development. We've been working really hard to get the 1740 West connection going, and to do that, we've had to try and acquire 3 different pieces of property as well as an easement through or over the Marathon Pipeline. So as part of that, there's a piece that's owned by Union Pacific Railroad. That is quite a process to go through acquiring those. We purchased a piece on the north where the North Road comes across at their minimum bid. And when we went back with the minimum bid for the southern crossing, they felt like their property was a little bit more valuable. We did an appraisal. We went back with an offer. So the next step is that they issued a letter of understanding. So I was just hoping to get a head nod to go ahead and sign that. We'll go ahead and put it on the next agenda for full approval, but then we just won't be holding up that process.
Everybody nod your head. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Woodsonia would be very grateful, and so would Pleasant View City, because this has been
Did we have
quite a
public
tricky situation. That's all I have.
Thank you. Was there something else you were gonna say? I can't remember. You said I'll bring that up. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, I thought there was something else. All right. Johnny.
I apologize to Tyson. I canceled our date.
Did you send in flowers?
I should have. I had to meet with the governor's office at the time and it got changed, so.
Oh, sure, the governor.
Just out there, you had to.
Yeah. So we'll reschedule and I'll get that chance again. I think some of you ended up taking the tour, is that right?
It's great.
Awesome. I look forward to it and I'll bring my popcorn. Also, I mentioned Andrew was at I attended this week's League of Cities meeting. And it was my first one I've been to. It was incredible. I thought it was really neat to see the same issues that we're dealing with. All the other cities are dealing with some of those too.
Where was that? Salt Lake?
Salt Lake, yeah.
Kind of valuable.
They have it every Monday during the legislative session in the Senate building.
Okay, maybe. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah, so you can get on Zoom, which is how I usually do it, but this Monday I didn't have any conflicts, so I went down to the actual Senate building. But yeah, so through the session, you can join by Zoom or go down there. So it's just Senate Room 210. It's up on the second floor to the right.
Yeah.
But and they're at noon on Mondays, except for next week because of President's Day, they'll be doing it on Tuesday, and I think they're only doing Zoom, but I could be wrong.
One
They're
of
gonna
the,
be there? Oh.
one of the things I found interesting being the first timer there was they pull up a lot of the bills that could impact, and then they take a straw poll, a vote of what do we think? And it was really interesting to get a perspective of the different cities across the state and how they would vote for certain issues that would pop up. But I just thought it was interesting. I know that we get 3 votes. Is that correct?
So on the Slido polls that they take, anybody in the room can vote. And when they take official votes on like the bill tracker and minutes and that, we have 3 voting members.
Is that like a paid tier or something, or why the population, or why do we? get
Nope,
3
everybody
votes?
gets 3.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep, I looked into that too, to see if it was population based or whatnot. But they did have over 400 people participating in a group on Monday, so it is nice to see that many people show up and put their opinions in on the bills that are being run.
Somebody have to be present to vote or no, I mean, if
Can you vote over Zoom?
can you vote?
No, so if you're on Zoom, they have a QR code. I don't know if anybody's used Slido. That's their favorite platform to use. But you just scan the QR code, the question comes up and you can pick your answer. Like sometimes it's prioritize, like, do you feel like this is a high priority for the league to push or medium, or there's other things that you could be paying attention to? Sometimes they have, questions that they want specific answers to, like they're looking at general fund reserves for a different bill.
If we're not actively using those votes, this is something that I'm there and I can participate, but I don't want to take it away from somebody who already has that power. If it's possible for any of us to
Yeah,
participate.
so the Slido votes, every one of us could get on there
Right.
and participate in those.
Yeah, I'm referring to one of the 3 votes that we get. If we're not using them at all, I'd love to participate, but if we're using them, great. I just didn't know if anyone is using them at all. I'm assuming it's probably mayor and you have one.
Myself and the planner.
Okay,
And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of garbage being proposed
there is.
this session.
So I'd love to get a voice of there if we,
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, anything else?
that was it.
Dave?
Just a quick thought. I know that we have our strategic planning meeting on the last Saturday of this month, but we missed it. Well, we didn't miss it. We decided not to do any major grant applications, but easy grants are due March 20th. And I know we were going to talk about it then, but that doesn't give us a lot of time to get the letters of recommendation and things. And I just wondered, we wanted to meet ahead of that so that when we came into the strategic planning session, we could decide what we want to apply for with staff.
So I just,
Hmm?
I just met with Mike and Bryce today. We kind of talked through it. They looped Cindy in, just get some ideas and going through the packet and the rules
needs to.
Is that 1,000? What's the?
It's $2,000 each, and
$2,000.
there's 3 of them, but you,
That's 3,500.
well, there we go. So we would like, obviously, we want to coordinate with staff with what you guys need and want, and also some, thoughts with us as well. Because we can use those for Founder's Day, we can
Yeah.
use those for recreation, we can use those for parking lot repairs, we can use those. for
And could we,
lots of-
get $3,500 worth of shade down there at the pickleball court? What do
Right.
you
Hey,
think?
do we have to have a
Is
match
it
on those,
within-
Sarah?
Pardon?
Do we have to have a match on those?
Not on those at all. You don't have to have a match.
Okay.
Wasn't you 175? That being.
Yeah, so.
Potential there.
But we really want to make, of course, we want to hear what staff needs as well and stuff, and so, but even if we could use one, but going into that strategic session, it would be nice just as it, letters of recommendation and things like that, they're easier to get, that's why they're called easy, but still, if we want to get all 3, and they've upped it to $3,500,
Inflation.
well,
I think
That'd be
that's, I think that's.
so if we can meet, or something with staff ahead of time, I think Dave, you're on that with me or something? Before, just to hear staff's thought. and
I
that-
think that's a great idea. I think
Yeah.
let's kind of get, Sarah, you can be the,
work
the,
with staff, see
the
when you guys can
point
meet,
to put that in.
get
let
some
me-
information.
Just while we're talking about I went out and I know Sarah's working on some coin stuff, but I went to Crown. And a 2-inch coin, if we get 2,000 is $2.93 each,
$2 and.
$2.93 each.
Can you give me
It-
their contacts so I can send them?
Inch and a,
out to-
inch and a half coin is $2.25, which I thought was fairly reasonable. I mean, there is some setups and some different things that probably have to do, but I don't know.
Well, I'd like to send them the graphic as well as.
I've given them the graphic already.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay,
So a graphic, not the official one, but I gave them, I said we're very close, so. Anyway, I don't know if we could use that for, but I think I'd like to sell those.
You can.
We're-
well, no, I'm gonna double check. I don't know if you can do that by coins. I'll have to double check.
all right.
I just don't know if we can sell it if you're doing a grant.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, but we could get a grant for, several people
I'll
want,
check with Shelley.
if you give some away, we get $5,500 worth of giveaways and then,
Well, it has to be recreation
there you go.
or part, well,
Park
I'll ask
recreation.
her about coins and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah, do that.
And if we can sell and profit off of what we,
Well, anyway, I mean, I have had a lot of people that I think would be fun to give some to, but
yes.
anyway, anything else? Ramp is really good. I think that's a great thing that'd be $10,000 we could possibly get, which would be good.
They
Sean.
have to be-
Yes, so had a great tour with Tyson and Andrea last week. And then afterwards, I met with Andrea and Tammy, and we talked through our plan process, applications, efficiencies. So I've got some thoughts, and I'm going to write something up, and I'll present that to you, Mayor,
Thank you.
and we keep moving in that direction.
Perfect. So just very quickly, I want to be out here by 7 because Johnny's got to go to a basketball game, it sounds like.
Utah State. Aggies
Um,
are playing tonight.
So with our work session, I want everybody to, like, for example, 15 minutes. I want you to present some of the
Yeah.
things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And I want to try to get an agenda. I've talked with Ann, I've talked with Dave a little bit about that. I talked with Mayor Barker about our economic development. He's got really a good guy. The new city council person is big on economic development, so we want to get that committee kind of going and working. So once you get through with the legislative aspect, let's move to that. But yeah, so when we do that, I want you to come prepared with stuff. I don't just want to have it be a free for all. I want to have just some good ideas, things you can put out there. We will have some free for all talk, but I want to have it, when we leave, we can have a direction to go. Set some strategic goals above and beyond what we already know, but go forward with that. Anyway, thank you for everything. I don't have anything else. I'd entertain a motion to go into a closed meeting for purpose of property acquisition.
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion by Yuri, second by
Marion.
Marion. I think it's a roll call. So let's, where else are we gonna be?
We are located in the Pleasant View City Council chambers
We're gonna be in the,
in my motion.
okay,
Second.
Dave,
Dave, Marriott. Sean.
Aye.
Sarah,
I,
Dave,
yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Yes.
can we include everybody that's here, or do we need consents and go, or?